Once again, some applause for Mr. Rick Vanderslice. And he brings up one of my favorite points. Will we any longer accept promises from our politicians? No. Will we demand action? Yes. Will we demand our full and complete civil liberties as prescribed in the Constitution of the United States of America? It is my unparalleled pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He is a veteran of the LGBT civil rights movement. He is an organizer who cut his teeth in direct action activism, working with the very active and engaged LGBT community of Chicago during his student years at DePaul University. After spending the last several years living in Madrid, Spain, and traveling over much of the world, he returned to the Metroplex, where he grew up and graduated high school. He is the founder of Queer Liber Action, a direct action group dedicated to building the queer civil rights movement in order to secure our equality and end our oppression. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Wilkinson.
Thank you, Daniel. Again, I'm Blake Wilkinson with Queer Liber Action. We are a North Texas GLBT direct action political organization, which, according to our mission statement, directly, visibly, and publicly confronts homophobia, along with organizations, institutions, groups, or individuals who support or promote discrimination toward the queer community. The events on June 28, 2009 at the Rainbow Lounge will not shape us as a people. Just as the events on June 28, 1969 did not shape us as a people then either. What will shape us as a people is what shaped those that stood up for themselves after Stonewall. And that is what we do with this anger that all of us share here today. Larry Kramer, writer, activist, and founder of ACT UP, says, "Anger drives activism." There are many things to be happy for in this world, like a good group of friends who will be with you when times are tough. But our place in society as gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people is nothing to be happy about. Anger drives activism. After we invested so much hope and energy into electing President Obama, he has backed off every promise made to us during his campaign. One of us is murdered each week in this country simply because of our sexual orientation. And 40 years after Stonewall, we are still harassed and bashed in our own bars and clubs. We should be angry. We have got to be angry. But we cannot be so angry as to be reckless. We stand up proudly as gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people to focus our anger and to demand respect. We are going to get this resolved in public for all to see. We are sick and tired of playing backroom politics over our rights and dignity. Public officials will be held accountable. The bashings on June 28, 2009 at the Rainbow Lounge happened under Mayor Moncrief's leadership. It was on Fort Worth Police Chief Jeff Halstead's watch, and without a word from Governor Rick Perry. We demand accountability, we demand explanations, we demand action, and we demand them now! Like all great civil rights movements, we will take our plight out into the streets and to the public. We will raise the level of what Dr. Martin Luther King called a healthy tension in our society. We will get past this. We will get past this. Together with our heads held high and our fists to the sky, we will get past this. Just want to read for a couple comments on these recent events at the Eagle in Dallas. So just a word on the closing of the Eagle in Dallas by the TABC a couple nights ago. There are many different stories going around about what took place. We still do not know for certain if the TABC acted professionally during their inspection or not. Some have suggested that TABC officers were mean and rude and were wearing ninja masks. But the fact of the matter is that we still do not know exactly what happened a couple of nights ago at the Eagle. As details come to light, let it be known that we are watching, we expect rapid explanations, and if it's found that TABC officers stepped over the line, we will demand justice.
Confront homophobia. Because like it or not, there are those in society who would actively stand against us. And I know that we encounter them every day. But we have a message for those people. We will outmarch you. We will outprotest you. We will raise hell. We will be the squeaky wheel. And whether you like it or not, we will emerge victorious. Today we are all gathered and united in our demand for swift action in condemning homophobia and violence against LGBT people. Joining us now to read the demands from our community is an officer of SMU's Gay Straight Alliance Spectrum. He is also leader of communication and information for Queer Liber Action. Please welcome my dear friend, Rich McPhee.
Get it? Before me, I have a list of demands from the United Lesbian, Bisexual, Transgender Community of North Texas. First, we demand an independent investigation of both the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission, TABC, and the Fort Worth Police Department regarding their conduct during the Rainbow Lounge raid early on June 28, 2009. We demand a public apology from Fort Worth Police Chief Jeff Halstead of all the patrons present at the Rainbow Lounge raid and the LGBT community of North Texas for the assault on our human rights. We demand Police Chief Halstead provide full and immediate transparency to the public by waiving the delaying requirement for news media to file open records requests to review police reports. We demand that the TABC promptly release all their officers' reports from the Rainbow Lounge raid to the news media and public. We demand that in future operations of this kind of law enforcement, officials operate under a presumption of innocence, fully respecting the human rights of all people, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Though responses were slow in coming, we appreciate the gestures so far from Fort Worth Mayor Mike Monchief. But we demand a public apology from the mayor for the heavy-handed and disrespectful police treatment of the patrons at the Rainbow Lounge raid. We demand Mayor Monchief seriously begin considering and addressing the legitimate needs and issues of the LGBT community of Fort Worth. We demand full accountability and justice in excessive and illegal actions of law enforcement officers during the Rainbow Lounge raid. Our last demand, we demand all official agencies found responsible for the injuries inflicted on Chad Gibson during the Rainbow Lounge raid stand good for all the medical expenses he has accrued to date and may in the future due to their actions. As gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender people, we seek justice and will now post these demands on the Tarrant County Courthouse doors.